Hello fellow gardeners and welcome back to Smart Garden. What if I told you the secret to supercharging your garden's health is currently falling right outside your window? It's not magic, it's leaf mold. Join me as we uncover the incredible benefits of this often overlooked soil builder and learn how to transform a pile of leaves into a treasure trove for your plants, all with minimal effort. I've been making leaf mold for over 15 years and I can honestly say it's revolutionized my garden in ways I never expected. From transforming my stubborn clay soil into a thriving ecosystem to creating the most incredible potting mix that my seedlings absolutely love, leaf mold has become my secret weapon. Today, I'm sharing everything I've learned so you can experience this garden transformation too. The golden ticket to garden success. Let me paint you a picture of what leaf mold can do for your garden. This dark, crumbly, sweet-smelling amendment is nature's ultimate soil conditioner, and it's absolutely free for the taking every autumn. Unlike commercial soil amendments that can cost hundreds of dollars annually, leaf mold costs nothing but a little time and patience. The benefits of leaf mold are truly remarkable. First, it dramatically improves soil structure regardless of your soil type. If you're battling heavy clay soil like I was, mixing in leaf mold creates air pockets that allow water to drain properly and roots to penetrate easily. Conversely, if you have sandy soil that drains too quickly, leaf mold acts like tiny sponges, helping retain moisture and nutrients where your plants need them most. Here's something that will blow your mind. Finished leaf mold can hold up to 500 times its own weight in water. Think about that for a moment. A single handful of leaf mold in your garden bed can store enough water to help your plants survive extended dry spells. This water-holding capacity has saved my garden during those brutal summer droughts when my neighbors were constantly running sprinklers. But the magic doesn't stop there. Leaf mold creates the perfect environment for beneficial soil organisms. Earthworms absolutely love it, and their presence indicates a thriving underground ecosystem. The fungal networks that develop in leaf mold help plants communicate with each other and access nutrients more efficiently. I've watched my vegetable yields increase dramatically since I started consistently using leaf mold throughout my garden. The weed suppression benefits alone make leaf mold worth the effort. When used as mulch, it creates a barrier that prevents weed seeds from germinating while still allowing air and water to reach your plant's roots. I've cut my weeding time in half simply by maintaining a layer of leaf mold around my perennials and in my vegetable beds. Timing is everything when it comes to leaf collection, and right now is the perfect opportunity. The best leaves are those that have recently fallen and haven't yet begun decomposing on the ground. Fresh leaves contain the optimal moisture content and haven't been leached of their valuable nutrients by repeated rain cycles. Not all leaves are created equal when it comes to leaf mold production. Deciduous tree leaves like oak, maple, beech, and birch are absolute gold mines for leaf mold makers. These leaves have the perfect carbon-to-nitrogen ratio and break down beautifully within 12 to 18 months. Oak leaves in particular are my personal favorites because they create an incredibly rich dark leaf mold that plants seem to adore. Maple leaves decompose quickly and create a lighter textured leaf mold that's perfect for seed starting mixes. Beech leaves produce a fine, almost coffee ground-like texture when fully decomposed, making them ideal for container gardening applications. Cherry and apple leaves from fruit trees also make excellent additions to your leaf mold pile and, they often break down faster than traditional shade tree leaves. However, some leaves require special consideration. Thick, waxy leaves like magnolia, sycamore, and horse chestnut will eventually decompose, but they take significantly longer. If you want to include these in your pile, I recommend shredding them first with a mower or leaf shredder. This breaks down their tough structure and honestly speeds up the decomposition process considerably. Avoid adding evergreen needles and leaves to your leaf mold pile. Pine, spruce, and fir needles are highly acidic and take years to decompose properly. While they can be composted, they're better suited for acid-loving plants like blueberries and azaleas, or saved for a separate conifer-specific compost pile. Collection methods can be as simple or sophisticated as you prefer. Traditional raking works perfectly well and gives you great control over which leaves you're collecting. Leaf blowers can speed up the process significantly, especially if you're dealing with large areas. My favorite method involves using a mulching mower with a bagger attachment. This simultaneously shreds the leaves and collects them, giving you a head start on the decomposition process. Creating your leaf mold pile is refreshingly simple, and you actually have several effective methods to choose from, depending on your space and, your aesthetic preferences. The key here is choosing a location that balances accessibility with the right environmental conditions for optimal decomposition. The open heap method is just perfect if you have ample space and don't mind a more natural rustic appearance. Simply designate an area about 4 feet square in a partially shaded location. Full sun will dry out your pile too quickly, while deep shade can really slow decomposition. I found that morning sun with afternoon shade provides the ideal conditions. Start by laying down a base layer of coarser material like small twigs or shredded branches. This creates air pockets at the bottom of your pile and helps prevent the leaf mold from becoming anaerobic and, smelly. Then begin piling your leaves, wetting them thoroughly as you go. The pile should feel like a wrung-out sponge, moist but not dripping. For a more contained approach, the wire cage method offers excellent results while keeping everything tidy. Create a cylinder using hardware cloth or chicken wire, approximately 3 to 4 feet in diameter and 3 feet tall. This size provides enough mass for proper decomposition while still being manageable for turning and harvesting. The beauty of the wire cage system really lies in its flexibility. You can easily lift the cage off the decomposing leaves, set it up right next to the original pile, and fork the partially decomposed material into the new location. This technique, which I like to call the lift and shift method, provides excellent aeration, and honestly speeds up the process significantly. For gardeners with limited space, the plastic bag method works surprisingly well. Use heavy-duty contractor bags or large yard waste bags, filling them about 3/4 full with dampened leaves. Punch holes throughout the bag for air circulation, then tie the top loosely to allow for some air exchange while retaining moisture. These bags can be tucked into corners of your yard where they'll quietly do their work over the next year or two. Location selection is crucial for success. Choose a spot that's easily accessible year-round, as you'll want to check moisture levels and potentially add new leaves periodically. Avoid low-lying areas where water might pool during heavy rains, as overly wet conditions can lead to anaerobic decomposition and, some unpleasant odors. While leaf mold will eventually form through natural processes alone, there are several techniques you can employ to significantly speed up decomposition and improve the final product quality. Understanding these accelerators can reduce your waiting time from 2 years down to as little as 6 to 8 months. Shredding your leaves before piling is perhaps the single most effective way to speed decomposition. When I run my collected leaves through a mulching mower or leaf shredder, I typically see finished leaf mold in half the time compared to whole leaves. The increased surface area allows fungi and bacteria to colonize the material more quickly, jump-starting the breakdown process. Moisture management is absolutely critical for successful leaf mold production. Your pile should maintain consistent moisture levels similar to a wrung-out sponge throughout the decomposition period. During dry spells, you'll need to water your pile thoroughly, soaking it until water begins to pool at the base. In my experience, most failed leaf mold attempts result from inadequate moisture rather than any other factor. Adding a nitrogen source can dramatically accelerate decomposition, though it's not strictly necessary. I like to sprinkle a handful of blood meal or fish meal between every 6-inch layer of leaves. Fresh grass clippings work excellently as well, providing both nitrogen and moisture. Some gardeners add coffee grounds, which work well but should be used sparingly, as they can make the pile too acidic if overdone. The layering technique I've developed over the years involves alternating 6-inch layers of leaves with thin layers of soil or finished compost. This introduces beneficial microorganisms that help break down the organic matter more quickly. Garden soil contains countless fungi and bacteria species that are perfectly adapted to decomposing organic matter in your specific climate. Turning your pile occasionally provides aeration and helps ensure even decomposition throughout the mass. I typically turn my piles 3 or 4 times during the first year, using a garden fork to move material from the outside of the pile toward the center. This also gives me an opportunity to check moisture levels and add water if needed. Temperature monitoring can provide valuable insights into your pile's progress. While leaf mold piles don't generate the high temperatures associated with active compost piles, they should feel slightly warm to the touch when decomposition is proceeding normally. If your pile feels cold and nothing seems to be happening, it likely needs more moisture, nitrogen, or both. Your finished leaf mold is ready when it transforms into a dark, crumbly material with a rich, earthy aroma reminiscent of the forest floor. There should be no recognizable leaf pieces remaining, and the texture should be uniform throughout. This transformation typically takes 12 to 24 months depending on your climate, leaf types, and management techniques. The applications for finished leaf mold are, honestly, virtually endless, and I've found new ways to use it every gardening season. As a mulch, leaf mold is just unparalleled in its ability to suppress weeds while slowly releasing nutrients into the soil. I apply a 3-inch layer around all my perennials each spring, and this single application typically lasts the entire growing season while continuously improving the soil beneath. In vegetable gardens, I work leaf mold directly into the soil before planting. This improves soil structure immediately and provides slow-release nutrients throughout the growing season. My tomatoes in particular seem to thrive in soil amended with generous amounts of leaf mold, producing larger fruits with better flavor than when grown in unamended soil. For container gardening, sieved leaf mold creates an outstanding potting mix component. I typically blend equal parts leaf mold, compost, and coarse sand to create a well-draining yet moisture-retentive growing medium. This homemade potting mix costs just a fraction of commercial alternatives and produces consistently better results in my experience. Seed starting applications represent one of leaf mold's most valuable uses. The fine texture and excellent moisture retention make it ideal for germinating seeds, while its mild nutrient profile won't burn delicate seedlings. I've had remarkable success starting everything from lettuce to flowers in pure leaf mold, though I typically blend it with a small amount of compost for just a bit more fertility. The long-term impact of consistent leaf mold use becomes really apparent after several seasons of application. Soil that was once hard and compacted becomes friable and easy to work. Plant roots penetrate more deeply, accessing nutrients and water more effectively. The overall health and vigor of plants improves noticeably, and many gardeners report reduced pest and disease problems in soils enriched with leaf mold. Perhaps most importantly, creating and using leaf mold connects you to natural cycles in a pretty profound way. You're literally transforming what would otherwise be waste into garden gold, participating in the same processes that have built rich forest soils for millennia. Every handful of leaf mold you create represents carbon sequestered in your soil, contributing to environmental health while improving your garden. This simple practice has the potential to transform not just your garden, but your entire relationship with gardening. Once you experience the incredible results that leaf mold provides, you'll never look at fallen leaves the same way again. Every autumn becomes an opportunity to gather next year's soil improvements, creating a sustainable cycle that benefits both your plants and the environment. If you found this guide helpful and want to see more sustainable gardening techniques that actually work, please subscribe to Smart Garden and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who could benefit from discovering the magic of leaf mold. Together, we can build healthier gardens and a more sustainable future, one leaf pile at a time. Happy composting!